to another Misfits TV. We are so stoked that you are tuning in with us tonight. We've got a really fun night planned, don't we, Gil?
We do. It's going to be great. We had a double episode last week, which is pretty hard to top, but I think we're getting pretty close with tonight's events. How you doing, Jade?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling good. I'm ready for tonight. Pretty pumped. How about you?
Yeah, I'm alright. Had a week off social media, you would have noticed. No Misfit mornings, but I think it was a good thing and I'm ready for the weekend. Guys, we just want to check in. We want to ask a question. How are you doing? It's been a hot minute since we've been able to see some of your faces. And just to show you that we care about you, we love you, we want the best for you, we've decided to put together an ISO playlist.
Yeah, it's like impossible to be down when you've got so many good tunes to listen to.
Yeah. Music's important in life, so check it out. Here's our playlist from us to you. Listen up. Sometimes life gets hard. Sometimes you are sad. Sometimes you just think to yourself, man, I don't know what's going on. And the only remedy for that, well, there's two remedies. There's always Jesus. But the second thing that I reckon helps is music, man. Music heals our souls. Music heals the world. Doesn't it, Jay? Amen. So what I thought I'd do, I thought I'd share some bangers that I've been listening to lately. When life feels a little much, when I'm not in a great spot, I just put some of these tunes on and things are a little bit better. So let me share with you my top 10 tunes for ISO at the moment. Here we go. Okay, tune number 1. This is the one that you wake up to in the morning, get ready, eat your little toast with your cup of tea or your porridge or whatever. This is a tune to get pumped for the day, and it is Every Hour by no one else but Kanye West. What a tune. Just that gospel choir. Every hour. Just, oh my gosh. Banger. Number 2 on the list actually is Perfect for a Sunday. This is for when you want to sleep in, stay under your warm little doona and not get out, but you should be getting out on a Sunday for church. And this is Church featuring Earth Gang by Sam Henshaw. Great tune, great film clip, go listen to it. Now number 3 on the list, this one is a little bit more of a chill song, a bit more of a worship prayer song, but I've been listening to this on my way to work every time I have to go into the office, and I tell you, it's just great. There are some great lyrics in this song. It's called The Blessing by Kari Jobe, Cody Carnes, and I think Elevation have it on an album as well, but this is just a great one that I feel like, you just start your day right with the right message, that let God's face shine upon you, let his blessings be with you, amen. Like, it's a great one to kick the day off in the right spirit of things. Number 4 is a tune by our friends down in the Hillshire, Hillsong Young and Free, and their track is called Never Have I Ever, and it's just a bop, man. It's just a good song to have in the background. It's good vibes, good tones, good sounds, and worth a listen. Now this next song has been played over and over again, and it never gets old. I think it sounds great. It is Sunday Best by the boys from the band Surfaces. I think it's really chill. I imagine myself eating like a nice chicken Sammy, chilling out with some friends while listening to this tune. The next song on my playlist is by Elevation Worship, and it's called Never Lost. Now that sounds like a weird sound, like I heard that title and I thought Never Lost, maybe they're talking about me never being lost because God's always got me. But in truth, the lyrics talking about how God has never lost a battle, and I like this one because of the music to it. The sound is really cool. It's got a really good groove. It's a bit gospel-y again with that 6/8 vibe, and I just think it's a great tune. I love listening to it, and check it out. Another worship tune we have is called Steady, and that's by Mosaic Music or MSC. I'm not really sure. I think it's music, but they spell it MSC. So when you type it into Spotify, Mosaic MSC, it's called Steady. It's just this really lovely song about how we're not perfect, but we can still come before God. And yeah, great sound, great tune. I encourage you to listen to it. Now we're getting into some more sort of low-key, lo-fi, chill vibes. This is sort of how you should end your day, sort of winding down. These last 2 songs, for that I listen to them to sort of wind down and chill out, and The first one that I want to tell you about is a song called ABBA. It's by John Mark Pantana or Pantana, I'm not sure, but lovely sound, really cool chill guitar part, really nice melody. The dude sings like an angel. He may be an angel. I can not confirm or deny this dude's angel status, but great song, check it out, it's a good one. And finally on the playlist at the moment, in our last place, wind down song for the day is a song called Slow Down, which makes sense, by Jonathan Ogden. And it's just this really nice sort of lo-fi sounding song. Gets you to sort of wind down, chill out, get ready for bedtime, sipping a hot cup of chocolate milk, hot chocolate. And just reminds you that, you know, we should be at a slower pace, that God's in control. We shouldn't be finishing our days stressed or anxious or worried, even though sometimes it does happen. It just reminds us of the truth that God's in control. So that's the playlist. I actually had a bonus track for you, but I couldn't find it on Spotify. So it's a YouTube clip. It's like a bonus, sort of like a behind the scenes track. It's called Dear God, in brackets raw audio, by a guy named Corey Ashbury, and I just think it's a great song with a great message. I tell you what, man, I was reading those lyrics and I was like, I've prayed this before to God. Like, this is a prayer that I've had before, and there's just something beautiful about that kind of thing happening, where someone is singing words that you've thought or felt yourself in your own spiritual journey. So check that out, and I hope this blesses you in some shape or form. Get into the playlist, follow us on Spotify, it's all there. Jesus is my homeboy playlist, Ask with Misfits on Spotify, and get listening.
Well, thanks, Gil, for that. I know that I am going to be listening to that throughout the week. I don't know about you guys, but music just changes my mood, gets me in the right mindset.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, if you wake up and you're like, man, today is just, I'm not feeling it.
Put on a good tune.
Yeah, and we've provided that for you, so that's great, Gil. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
And now we're going to be going to our message, which Gil has been so faithful at doing for us every week. So here is another episode in our Stay series.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to our final installment of our series called Stay, where we've been looking at spiritual disciplines that we should continue doing even in a moment like this, where lots of things can't happen. We've been looking at things that we should continue to do, continue to stay as part of our rhythms no matter what. And this week we're going to be looking at staying in serving, being people who serve no matter what. And there's some exciting news. Jade sent me a link earlier today, and I opened it and saw that the government, the New South Wales government, had put out a press release saying that churches of up to 50 groups, people of up to 50 groups, are going to be able to start gathering again for religious reasons if there is 4 square meters per person, which means that in the coming weeks, pretty soon, the Misfits are going to be able to gather again. We're going to be able to get back to our program on a Friday night, play our games, eat our food, do our messages, how things were before COVID hit. We're actually going to be able to get back into that pretty soon. But I started to think, you know, things have changed, and not for the best for a lot of people. And, you know, I had to ask the question, it's great that we can gather again, and great that we can be a part of a community like we used to before. But what does that do to help other people? You know, we can gather as a church, but people have still lost their jobs. We can gather as a church, but people have still maybe lost their grandma, grandpa, or another significant person in their life due to COVID. People might be able to gather again as the church, but in reality, there's a majority of people out there who have a real sense of fear and uncertainty and struggling to continue living life in a way that is helpful. And what I want to tell you tonight is that that was never supposed to be how the church was. It was never supposed to be that the church gathered and that no one else was impacted by it. The church has always meant to be a place where the community is blessed by their presence. The fact that they gather together is a blessing to the rest of the community, whether they're part of the church or not. And I want to tell you a little bit tonight about a moment in history where the world went through something pretty similar to what it is right now. There was a disease called the Spanish flu that took over the world, and very similar to how things are with COVID. Lots of people died, meetings had to stop gathering, people had to stay in their homes and quarantine themselves, and it was a really scary, kind of concerning moment for the whole world. And I was doing a little bit of research about this, and I watched this video of this historian who took note in particular of a couple of churches in Nashville and what their response to the Spanish flu was. And it was so encouraging to hear that these churches actually tried to bless their community even more during the moments where they couldn't gather. So the churches had to stop gathering, and when that happened, the people of the churches decided to make their church building into a makeshift hospital for people who were sick, and a makeshift space to support people who were suffering from the Spanish flu. And it just was such a wonderful thing to see that the church, even back then, even in a moment that would have been concerning for all the people who were involved in that community, they were still choosing to bless the community even though they couldn't gather together. And I just loved watching this video and learning that the church was fixated on helping people no matter what, even if they couldn't gather together. And we are supposed to do the same thing as a church. As misfits, we are supposed to be people who bless others no matter what is going on. That should always be part of our life. We don't just want to gather together just because it's enjoyable for us. We want to be people who bless those in our community. And the scriptures tell us to do this. In 1 Peter 4, verses 9 and 10, it says, "Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace." And this passage teaches us that we are meant to serve those around us, and we're supposed to do it joyfully. Now, I'm not saying that we have the power or the capacity to turn our church building into a makeshift hospital and help all those people with COVID-19. I don't know if that's going to actually be a benefit. But what I do think we can learn from this passage is two things. The first is you can do what you do best to help others. And the second one is that you can do that however best you can. Now, I believe we're all gifted in very different ways. None of us are the same as each other. And we can bring to the table something that's very unique and very different. Now imagine you are at a dinner party. You're invited to a dinner party and you're excited. Everyone had to bring something, a dish to the table for this great feast that you were going to have. Now imagine if everyone just turned up with bread rolls. How boring and how disappointing would it be for a dinner if everyone just brought the same thing? And I think the same principle goes for us. We're all created differently. We all have different strengths, different weaknesses, and we need to bring those to the table to be in community with each other. The things that we're good at, we should be doing and using those gifts to serve others, however best we can. You see, some of us are really gifted in making people feel welcome. Some of us are really good at gauging whether someone might be upset or something might be troubling them. Some of us might be really creative thinkers and are able to come up with solutions to problems that our community might be facing. See, everyone has different giftings, and when people decide to use their personal specific giftings to bless those around them, we bring something to the table. We bring support and encouragement and a safety net that wouldn't be there otherwise, because we're just being ourselves, we're doing things that no one else can do for us or through us, and we are being a support to the community. And that's not always as easy as we'd hope. There are some restrictions that are being taken away, but it's still pretty tricky to gather as people and to meet up and live life how we used to. And I hope you're encouraged by the thought that you can do what you do best, and however best you can do it right now, that's okay. You know, you might be someone who is really friendly and able to make people feel welcome, but there's nothing to welcome them to. Well, why don't you just reach out and invite them to our Zoom on a Tuesday? You might be someone who is really good at picking up whether someone is feeling okay or not. Maybe just FaceTime them or Zoom them yourself instead of meeting up. Maybe send them a care package just to let them know that you're thinking about them. Maybe you're someone who's really creative and that's something that you're gifted in. Maybe find a way to be creative and post it online and encourage someone that way. Whatever your gifting is, you are able to do that however best you can right now. Even if it doesn't feel like you're being a support or serving other people, you're actually doing a really good job by just stepping into that gifting, stepping into who you're meant to be, and using that to bless others. And I really think that's what God wants for us in this moment. So I hope this has blessed you guys. I want to encourage you to stay serving, stay in the community, blessing other people. Don't just break off and be taking care of number one, but looking to bless others is what we're called to do. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Well guys, that is the completion of episode 4. We are so glad you've been able to tune in. We encourage you, if you haven't watched some of the other episodes, catch up, tune in. Look, there's some exciting things going on. Very soon we may be able to gather again.
I didn't say it.
We're not saying anything, but it looks like we might be able to get together soon. So keep in the know, keep your phones on, don't go on airplane mode, because at any moment, who knows, we might be texting you saying, hey, we're getting the gang back together.
And hopefully that's sooner rather than later, because we are missing hanging out with you guys every week.
Absolutely. Hey, we love you. We want the best for you. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you very, very soon.